Hey there everybody, Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility, the show on the channel where we take a look at some of the cool new releases in the worlds of heavy metal, hard rock, classic rock, jazz, fusion, progressive rock. We cover a wide variety of stuff here on the channel today. You heard me mention this last night on the Hudson Valley Squares, the brand new release from Frontiers Records roster band Inglorious, We Will Ride. Look at that majestic. Almost looks like Simone from Epica riding on that mighty horse there. All right, so of course this is the band put together and led by none other than singer extraordinaire Nathan James. Let's take a look at the booklet here. So of course we get some cool photography, images, all pretty dark, huh? Lyrics, all that good stuff. And we'll see the band coming up shortly, I believe. They're in here somewhere. I think I passed them by. They're probably right in the middle. Yes, they are. There's the guys in the band. So who is in the band, you might ask, because they've had some lineup changes in recent times. So, of course, we got Nathan James on vocals. He also has sang with, did some work, I think, with Trans-Siberian Orchestra over in Europe, and he sang for Uli John Roth for a spell. We got Danny Dela Cruz on guitars, Dan Stevens on guitars, Vinny Cola on bass guitar, Phil Beaver on drums and percussion, with some guest keyboards on the album from Rob Lindop, produced and engineered by Romesh Dodogangada, something like that. Recorded at Long Wave Recording Studios in Cardiff, Wales. So, so if you have not checked out Inglorious previously, I believe, boy, is this their third album? Or is it their fourth? I'm losing track. It's either their third or their fourth. Very, very solid band. If you dig kind of like 70s and 80s bluesy heavy rock in the spirit of, like Whitesnake, Badlands, that sort of thing. Okay, little bits of Deep Purple thrown in there, maybe a little bit of Zeppelin. Okay, just good, hook-laden, groove-laden, crunchy, bluesy rock music. All right, a lot of good tracks on here. Again, with the multiple lineup changes they've had, all the albums still sound like Inglorious. Of course, Nathan's vocals are just off the charts great. He's a really, really good singer. But he's got he has this kind of like accessibility to his voice. Kind of sounds like the singer from Blackstone Cherry at times a little bit. It's very melodic. It's almost radio friendly in spots. But man, a lot of really good tracks on here. She Won't Let You Go kicks off the album really good. Messiah is killer. What a great riff on that. Real catchy though. Medusa, another killer song. What else? My Misery is really good. Do You Like It? Has a snarling guitar riff. So heavy. Some cool solos in that. Great vocal. He Will Provide. Another pretty heavy song. There are some religious, like Christian connotations on some of these tracks and some of the lyrics. I don't know what the background is with Nathan and the guys in the band, but there are a couple songs here that are very like He Will Provide, We Will Meet Again. A really good song. These songs are heavy, though. They're not like lighthearted Christian rock at all. God of War, another really good, crunchy, heavy song. We Will Ride. What else? Eye of the Storm is really classy, too. Cruel Intentions is good. Top to bottom, really good hard rockin' album. But the songs are really catchy. So if you love kind of like Whitesnake, like Come and Get It, Slide It In, the 87 album, even the more recent Whitesnake albums, and you love those two Badlands albums, maybe a little Blue Murder. Like I said, I mentioned Deep Purple as well. They have that kind of feel to them. It's just really classy stuff, heavy stuff, a lot of headbanging material on here, great instrumentation, and that voice. That voice, so good. I have been playing this a lot lately. Inglorious, We Will Ride. If you love their other ones, I think you'll dig this. Check it out. It's a good one. We've got more of these shows coming up over the next couple days. We've got the Vintage Caravan Monuments. Great band from Iceland. That's coming up soon. We've got the new Greta Van Fleet has finally arrived, so that will be coming up as soon as I've listened to it a few more times. I've got Lynyrd Skynyrd live at Nebworth as soon as I get around to watching the Blu-ray part of it. What else? There's so much. District 97. Oh, boy. What else? Oh, there's all sorts of other stuff laying around here. We're going to be getting to the full review of the Jethro Tull A, or A La Mode, box set that Anthony Ferrara and I will be doing. We heard Stephen Reed talk a little bit about it the other day. We're going to give you some additional discussion on that because I think it's worth it. So all that and more coming up here on the channel. We've got coming up tonight in the Prague seat. All right, today we've got a big cast tonight. We've got George Lamy, Anthony Ferraro, Chuck Alvarez, and Rick Labonte. We're going to be talking about albums. Are they prog? Do they qualify as prog? So those albums that kind of are on the fence. They're kind of prog, but not. Do we call them prog? I don't know. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. So that's happening tonight. Tomorrow, I will be hoping to get you a new product review show tomorrow. But tomorrow night, I will be on the Guitar Hack YouTube channel, talking about some very notable bands and if you could only hear one album by this band as your introduction, what would it be? So I'm going to have some bands I'm talking about. Hack is going to have some bands that he's talking about. We're going to talk about why we are recommending those bands as your kind of first step into exploring those particular groups. That's coming up tonight on tomorrow, Guitar Hack, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check that out. And then Thursday, we've got the Monsters Den with Rich Catino, Chris Allo, Dan Brown, and Jamie Laszlo joining for that episode as well. All about some of our favorite non-Hammer horror British horror films from the 60s, 70s, 50s, that sort of thing. So that's coming up Thursday. In addition, Thursday night, we got a pretty special show. This should be a lot of fun. Jack Toledano, Rich Catino, Chris Allo, and myself, we're going to be presenting our heavy metal and hard rock mixtapes. So you remember the old days. If you guys are from the 80s, you remember back in the 80s and even into the 90s a little bit, everybody made mixtapes for people. It's like, oh, you don't know anything about hard rock? I'm going to make you a hard rock mixtape. Don't know heavy metal? I'm going to make you a heavy metal mixtape. You never listened to prog rock? I'm going to make you a prog rock mixtape. So what we're doing is we're each going to be kind of putting together our own 60-minute hard rock and metal mixtape that we would offer to someone who's never really listened to hard rock and metal, right? So we're each going to kind of put together our own. It's going to be, each 30-minute side on each side of the tape, and we're each going to give you our song lists of what's going to go on our tapes, right? And then we got something extra special planned for that episode as well. It's going to be a lot of fun, so make sure you check that out. That'll be happening Thursday night. So all sorts of fun stuff happening on the channel. Martin Popoff also coming back Thursday. We got a fun show for you on bands that everybody seems to love, but we just don't get. They don't click with us. We tried. Doesn't work for us, but the rest of the world seems to love them. That's coming up Thursday. And then over the weekend, we got some great stuff happening as we move into May. We've got Chris Allo and Rich Catino joining me on Saturday as we're going to rank the solo albums from none other than Bruce Dickinson, the lead singer of Iron Maiden. Then on Sunday, those two gentlemen once again will be joining me for ranking the albums of new wave of British heavy metal legends Grim Reaper. So that's coming up on Sunday. So as you can see, tons of stuff happening on the channel. I'm also reaching out to a couple other people for some cool guest appearances that people you may have seen elsewhere. So that's all in the works as well. So stay tuned for that and more. We've got guest stars lining up, notable musicians and rock stars who are looking to come on and talk about their new releases and stuff. So these things are all happening. May is going to be jam-packed. Lots of ranking the album shows coming up. I've got Fleetwood Mac on tap very soon. I'm probably not going to get to it this month, but it'll be in May. Meshuggah I'm also working on, and a bunch of other things. So it's never ending here on Sea of Tranquility. Make sure you subscribe if you like what you see. We've got a link to the Ko-Fi page below if you want to make a channel donation. We've got all sorts of shirts, including, for those of you who watch Comic Book Geezers, we have a new Comic Book Geezers shirt and coffee mug, The Adventures of Wood. If you watch the channel, you saw Bill has been doing lots of his own comics and cartoons, and he designed this new character called Wood, who's like this monster tree, okay, and we've got a shirt for it now, so check that out. If you go to the merch page, the link is below. Check that out as well, and get yourself a Comic Book Geezers Adventures of Wood shirt. They're going to go fast, so came out really good, so check those out as well. Thanks everybody for all your views. Again, make sure you subscribe if you haven't, tell your friends, and we'll see you later on with more content here on Sea of Tranquility. I am Pete Pardo. Later.